Okay, so today's course was Cannon Ridge in Fredericksburg, Virginia. Cannon Ridge is in the sort of nook between 95 South and Route 17. It heads out towards the Gauntlet. Clubhouse didn't have any showers at all. It just had a regular bathroom, decent bathroom, but nothing, there's no changing room, nothing like that. As far as the course goes, first thing is, in terms of difficulty off the tee, this is an example tee shot on the backside, par 5, 13 or 14. You see you have a shot over this waist, and there's a valley with the waist. One thing that you have here, is the ability to fan the ball out to the right, past the cart path into the fairway coming the other way, which is number 16. A lot of courses, you would never be able to find that ball if it went out there past the cart path, or it would be OB or something. The second thing is the waist. So here you see on this shot that there's waist to the left on the far side of the cart path, but on the right side, there isn't any waist. That's all playable rough over there. This is kind of matted down, long grass rough that's easy to play off of. A lot of courses would have this much thicker rough, much harder to play out of. And then the outside of that would be long waist. The ball goes in there, you're not going to find it. And it would be on both sides of that fairway on the outside of that rough. Some courses will pull the waist really tight around the green, long grass around all the sand traps. This course is certainly a challenge to play. There's no question about it. But as you can see on this hole especially, it's really not that difficult in terms of it doesn't penalize you very much. It's a pretty mundane looking course from the clubhouse. It's a 7,100 yard course, slope 146, and it definitely is a challenge. This course is, I want to say hard, but it's not hard. It's not stupid hard. It's a fun course to play. The good thing about this course is that the shots are usually right in front of you. Usually you can see all the ways. You can see what you got to do. It's not like tricked up. It's not super difficult. It's not like you got to play through these really tight fairways or through these really tight chutes in the trees. There's one hole, I think the second hole, you have to hit a tee shot like under the tree to the left and left of a tree to the right. And that one's kind of a shoot shot. But other than that, not really. Most of the tee shots are fairly wide open. They are long from the blue and black tees. The blue tees are about 20 to 30 yards ahead of the black tees. And the black tees have some serious carries on some of these shots. I know that the blue tees are not that much easier than the blacks. I mean, they're, a little easier, but not a lot. So in this course, it's not going to make a huge difference if you're going to go in there and play the blues or the blacks. It will make a difference if you play the blues or the whites. The whites are more up towards the red tees. Actually, not seriously, about 20 yards behind the red tees. So it wasn't like there was a big advantage in terms of difficulty from playing the red tees to the white tees. And this course certainly favors someone who can hit the ball reasonably straight and reasonably long. The par fours, a lot of the par fours have carries off the tee over a waist, over a valley filled with waste, and even some of the par threes, you're playing over a valley filled with waste. I thought, however, that the shots were very entertaining. The course does not look all that impressive from the parking lot. It looks like it's just a basic links course or something, but it's not. Believe me, this is a woods course. It's more open than closed. It's definitely a challenge. I think it's fun. I think the course has a lot going for it, and I would rate this course at least a B+. Even, it's got decent views also because you can see a lot of the sky, if not mountains or anything, but you certainly get a lot of sky views. And when the clouds are out there like they were today, it's really, really pretty. And I can't say that there is a lot of water on the course. So that's one possible strike you could give it if you were looking for lakes and so forth. This course does not have a substantial amount of water on it. It has some significant verticality, however, and you will find that it has a lot in common with General's Ridge in terms of the way that the cart paths go up and down very steeply, and sometimes you think you're gonna die, and if they were wet, they would be borderline suicidal. The course has a lot in common with a few other courses. Some holes reminded me of the South Course at Andrews, where you have this long uphill carry, and it's very easy to, get behind the ball and slice it off to the right when you're trying to really crank it uphill. Big shots, some really big shot. It has a very vicious par 3, number 11. Number 11 is probably the most evil-looking par 3 I've ever seen. And I could say that the whole front side, once you get past the first couple of holes, you play the front side and you're like, wow, that was fun. And it's really kind of like this tightly interwoven set of holes, but the way the layout comes out, it comes out really nice. It's challenging, it's interesting, it's fun to play. And I almost felt like quitting on the after the first 9, because between the heat and it wasn't that hot, but it was still hot. It was 100 and some odd degrees out there. And the fact that I just enjoyed the front side so much, I wasn't really all that eager to play the back, but I went ahead and played it. And it was fun. The back was fun too. It had some even better shots in some ways, even challenging shots in other ways. I think it was a lot of fun. I think the whole course overall was a lot of fun. I think, however, it's let down by the facilities and it's let down by the course condition. The course condition is just barely decent, at all. There's definitely some spots where it's brown in the fairways, brown on the greens. There were the sand traps. A lot of sand traps were, half grown over with weeds. Some of them were just, in disrepair altogether or weeded over altogether. And it was really in borderline decrepit condition, but it wasn't so bad that it wasn't playable and enjoyable. And I think there were some spots where wasps had just, brown spotted some of the greens. And there's some spots where the greens had thinned out and were black, where there isn't any grass over the dirt. And it wasn't in good condition in the sense that it had great greens and great fairways and so forth, and great sand traps like some other courses like Bull Run, let's just say, and, where they put such a premium on the condition that the course is in really stellar condition. But it was playable, it was enjoyable. I definitely enjoyed playing it, and all I can say is I hope this course doesn't go out of business, given the condition. It was in better condition than Virginia Oaks, better condition than Virginia Oaks. And I think the course was more fun than Virginia Oaks. It was definitely harder than Virginia Oaks. It was one of the hardest, yet more enjoyable, if not the most enjoyable course that I've played in the last couple of years, even including Bethpage Black. I didn't have that much greenskeeper fouling today to deal with, and but it still maintained the character of a woods course that was open. It wasn't like it was some funky course that just made you feel like, what's going on here. If it was a comfortable feeling course, a good run, a good outing, a great outing, I would say. I really, really enjoyed playing it, but you have to be able to hit if you're going to play from either the black or blue tees. There are some serious carries on this course. It is no joke. It is certainly earns that 146 slope. Clubhouse is a big sort of yellow-orange monstrosity of a rambler with these big white posts out in front. And unfortunately, it really does have kind of a new feel where there's no chairs or anything on the back and no tables certainly on the back. The back is right behind the 18th green and you're like staring at the green. But there's a large dining area inside, decent little bar / kitchen. It's amazingly big for how little features it has. That's Cannon Ridge in Fredericksburg, Virginia.